Hello, welcome back to Barely Functioning. I'm Jacob,
I'm Will.
and we're gonna talk Doctor Strange today because Will just watched it for the first time.
Finally saw it because I
Into
went
the Multiverse. Wait, what's it called?
Multiverse is
Oh,
Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. What was Into the Multiverse?
Um,
Or am I just completely
into the multiverse, into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse? Oh, I just saw a logo for that today. That's probably why I'm thinking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just finally saw it because it finally dropped on Disney Plus because I refuse to go to movies theaters to see Marvel movies, especially Marvel movies.
Well, guess what? You're gonna go see Thor with me.
You're gonna have to drag me there, man.
I will. I got a free ticket, so
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm convinced. That's
Yeah.
all it takes. It's very easy. Once it's free, I'm okay
once
with
it's
it.
free, it's okay.
I can't complain about it if it's free.
Yeah, you'll sit there. You'll be next to people with blankets. People cheap. Well, no, because we're probably not. I'm not going opening night with you.
Oh, well, thanks. That makes me feel special.
Well, I already got the tickets for opening night. Those costed me money.
Oh, wait.
I just have. I have an inside guy in my movie theater that gives me free tickets.
Well, I don't know if we want to put this out on public record. I don't know if we want people
I
to know.
didn't say the name, but I have an inside guy.
Okay. Well, you know a guy.
I know a guy.
Well, yeah, it was Doctor Strange. Hey, just because it's a good way to start, where does Doctor Strange, just in general, not the movie, the character, how does the character rank among the Marvel pantheon for you?
Like in the MCU?
Yeah, in the MCU, like your enjoyment of it.
I mean, right now I think he's like top 3.
Oh yeah, he's definitely top tier now. But like in general,
Before Endgame, he was kind of like bottom top tier, I think, for me.
yeah, bottom top tier would.
And I think it's only because of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
I think his performance is really good.
I think he's a very good Doctor Strange. I think that's probably, out of all of them, the weirdest one to cast for, and I think they got the right guy for it.
Yeah, I think he does a really good job.
I enjoy him more than most other Marvel heroes. So
Yeah.
So he's up
I
there
think
in my books.
I think he's quippy, but he's also serious.
Well, in this one, he's definitely quippy.
Yeah, they
He's
definitely.
like-
I think that was also a lot to do with Sam Raimi being the director.
Really?
Sam Raimi.
But
Sorry.
I don't know about that because I looked into it. He didn't write it, but of course he could have say so and stuff like that.
And just watch the other Spider-Man films.
Speaking of, well, okay, we'll just start talking about it right into
Yeah.
it. It's the first Doctor Strange after Endgame. That's kind of a duh thing to say, but
Duh.
it still references events in Endgame, Thanos and whatnot.
Because I think they're just like, with it being like the big thing, Endgame.
You can't.
Every project now has to be like, hey, you guys remember Endgame?
It has to reference it in some way.
Yeah, because then everyone would be like, they don't reference Endgame once? Like, what?
Well, this is a good way. So we're going to launch right into it, much like the movie itself. This thing like doesn't have any sort of build up to it. It starts hard. If you remember, it's the Defender Strange in his universe with America Chavez.
Yeah, when I remember watching, like, very, like, confused that they opened up with that. I was like, what is going on already?
Dude, it is a lot of information to take in. It is nuts.
And I think it has, because it's just the runtime, they only did, what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
It was, like, under 2 hours.
It could be under 2 hours. It's not.
I think it was 2 hours with credits. So, like...
Yeah, especially, usually Marvel movies and movies in general.
2.5 hours now.
Yep.
So this was very shocking.
And it just started fast. It was
very
fast. It was just into it. And then it wakes up. And then what's weird is that it starts again almost, like there's almost just a 2-second break. Sorry, a 2-minute break with him going to
The
Rachel
wedding.
McAdams' wedding. And then it's just mayhem again. Like almost immediately.
Yeah, and I think that's just because of the 2-hour runtime. They had to like get things moving.
Dude, Multiverse of Madness indeed.
But like, I mean, did you enjoy it?
Okay. The more space I have from watching it, the more I think I enjoyed it. When I was watching it, I thought it was just like I thought it was so
It's a ton at a time.
Oh yeah, it's so haphazard that I'm just like I don't know what to think about this. And the weird thing, I will say this, I do like the Sam Raimi elements in it because
dude, I'll just say this: I enjoyed it. I didn't think it's.
This is a good way. Did you enjoy it more or less than the original one?
The first one I didn't really like to start, but going back and watching it a couple times, I definitely enjoy it more than when I think it's just because the Doctor Strange is just so strange. it just, I don't know, not throw me for a loop, but it was just different, and I didn't know if I liked it. But I don't know if I enjoy this one more or less than the first one.
In a weird way, I know I enjoy the first one more. I liked it the first time I saw the first one, and the more times I watch it, the more I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest thing that weighed down the sequel was the writing, but the directing was awesome. If Sam Raimi could do Doctor Strange for the rest of Doctor Strange, that would be amazing.
I wish, because you saying you love the directing, I wish they went full on horror.
Yeah.
Because the horror things in this movie were dope. With Wanda going in and out of the mirror.
Yes.
That was cool. And the suspense of running in the sewer.
Yep. When they were trying to escape her.
Because even when Kevin Feige announced it, he was like, it's going to be a horror movie, blah blah blah. And I remember being at the time is it though? I wish they went just rated R horror movie. I think it would have been so cool,
yeah,
and it would have worked.
There were horror moments in it, but I would not describe it as a horror movie.
Oh, definitely.
And that's
not.
what it was. Yeah, when it was announced, people were like, "This is going to be the first horror movie of the MCU."
Yep.
And that's the funny thing is because Sam Raimi, obviously coming back to the superhero genre, because he did Spider-Man, so everyone kind of thought it would be Spider-Man-ish, but it was a lot more Evil Dead. And that's what I loved about it was that you actually saw these really old school kind of Raimi camera work throughout the movie, and that was the highlight of the movie for me. It was just seeing the
and it was cool
Raimi
being
versions.
enhanced with CGI.
Yes. Now the action was okay. There was nothing great about it. A lot of crazy. It started with that squid monster. There were some spells that he had, animals or snakes coming out of his hand. That was weird to see.
But that's why I'm confused if I like it or not, because I think that action's cool because it's Doctor Strange, but at the same time it's totally different than the action in any other Marvel thing that I've seen, because I haven't seen Eternals yet, so I don't know what that action's like.
Oh dude, that is okay. Just a quick one, because you mentioned it. It's Eternals. It is the worst action of the MCU by a long shot.
Eternals is.
It is the worst. It's just editing wise, choreography, nothing in it really works. And it's very un-MCU. This one I enjoyed, and I almost enjoyed it the more time I spent with it. I didn't know how I felt about it in the beginning because it was just so haphazard. And by the way, the script in it is the most, I don't want to say cliche or generic, but it's it is the most efficient script I think I've ever seen in a movie, because there's so little character moments in the beginning or build up or anything really setting the stage. It is literally okay, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, this is who this person is, and it's just getting from one point to the next. They really never stop to actually have character moments in the movie,
especially with the new character American Chavez.
What did you think about her?
I think she did a fine job, but I just think that I get you needed that element to introduce going into the different multiverses, but I don't know, I feel like they underused her.
I think they did a really good job introducing her. I liked her character in the movie.
Yes, I thought it was cool that they kind of just threw her in.
Yes.
Because if they did another slow introduction, mystery type to who the character is, it's just get on with it. But I did enjoy that they kind of just threw her in. I think her chemistry with Benedict Cumberbatch was good.
Probably, the best part of the movie, probably.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't it was just, I liked her character. I think she works great as a support character. I have no idea how they could ever make her more than a background character in someone else's movie. I don't know how they can make an America Chavez movie.
Yeah, she's definitely not starring.
Yeah, which is
why I'm so confused with this current phase of MCU, because doing all these new characters and stuff, and it's like you guys don't even have a solid number one now because they can't depend on Spider-Man.
Nope.
Because Sony could just pull the rug out from that.
Iron Man's gone.
Iron Man's gone. Like, is Doctor Strange number one now?
I think he would have to be just by process of elimination. You don't have Steve Rogers. You only have Chris Hemsworth. He's like the only original guy still around.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to do any of the team up stuff anymore. I think.
Oh, really?
I think he said like he doesn't have fun with the character anymore, and I think he had fun with Thor 3 and what he did with Thor in Endgame, but like I don't think he likes being like doing like the classic hero stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think he likes doing the funny Thor. I don't think he enjoys doing the serious Thor.
Well, I have
anymore.
My own kind of thoughts on that when we talk about what we kind of expect will happen or our predictions of Thor 4 that we'll talk about near the end of the podcast. But another thing, this is why I was so confused. I didn't even know if I liked Doctor Strange 2 in the beginning because it was just so crazy. Everything was happening so fast because almost immediately he's introduced to America Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
And then his first thought is like, okay, well, I'm going to go talk to Wanda about this. She'll know what to do.
Yeah, so you didn't watch WandaVision.
No, I did not.
So this is an argument I had with some people. Were you confused? Or did the movie make sense of what was going on?
It didn't really make... Well, it made sense because of, like, the things I saw in my peripheral with WandaVision. Like, I knew enough of what was going on to kind of understand. I didn't know about the Darkhold, so I don't know if the Darkhold was mentioned in the...
It was a big part.
Okay.
I mean, because it was towards the end.
Well, then, yeah, that was the biggest thing is I'm like, did they mention this in the show? Yeah. So it was kind of weird not watching the show, watching the movie.
So was it weird for you to be like being a hero in Endgame?
Yes.
To villain?
Yeah.
Ish.
It seemed like so much happened in such a little time.
Without you knowing what
happened. It didn't even like, you didn't even get to see like her try to be good and then the Darkhold grab a hold of her when she meets America or something like that. It's immediately the first time you see her, she's already the villain of the movie.
In a movie, yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of the biggest
so
jolt.
I mean, I think they did an okay job of trying to like blend what happened, but it was all just through talking. So I felt like they could have done a better job.
Well, yeah,
in that sense.
For me being just the movie watcher, like the last time you saw her was in Endgame fighting Thanos, and maybe at Tony's funeral, and then it was literally just like the next time you see her, she's the villain in Doctor Strange. Like
going
there's
crazy.
Yeah, and it was immediately the first time you see her,
and then like talking about kids.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well,
her kids.
That was the worst part of the movie for me.
Yeah, I just think Marvel's fallen into this thing where they're like, I mean, they can. I feel like they are allowed to do it just with how successful they are, but at the same time, it's kind of bad of them where they're just like, everyone's seen everything.
Yeah, no, it's the kind of, that's the one thing I didn't like, especially hearing about this is like, you need to watch the Disney Plus shows to really understand what's going on.
But it was only one, at least it was only one, and it's not like, hey, you need to watch Hawkeye, Loki.
I actually think Loki's going to be a big one because they introduced Kang in there.
Which you should watch.
I'll watch Loki around.
Bad.
It's got Owen Wilson in it, so I'll watch it for Owen Wilson.
It's worth it.
But this one was just, it was just so fast. It was the opposite of the Batman because the Batman was such a slow burn of a movie that took its time. This one was like, okay, guys, we gotta wrap things up here, and then immediately she's attacking the sorcerer hideout.
Yeah, what's it called?
Dude,
I forget.
It started. I can't remember. It's just, but it's like she doesn't even. It's not even a problem for her. It's like so quick that she just starts decimating these people. By the way, do you remember? Because it's been a while since you've seen the movie, but there's this weird green bowl in the sorcerer school. You don't remember it at all?
What about it? A green bowl?
Yeah, there's a green bowl that I'm sure is a character in the comics, but they just throw him in the movie. They never kind of...
bull.
Bowl, yeah.
I thought you were saying a bowl.
Like a B-O-W-L?
Yeah, like where you eat cereal.
No. B-U-L-L.
Yeah. I didn't know who it was.
I should have said ox. If I said ox, you would have known what I'm saying.
It did seem very...
Dude, that was the weirdest part because I'm like, okay, are you guys going to reference this giant green bowl just walking around? And they never did.
No.
And then, I mean, it was very quick.
But, like, that's one of those Easter egg things where I, like, don't mind. Because it's like if someone reads the comics and they see it, they're like, "Oh, cool." Because at this point in the MCU, you can expect anything.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't like throw anybody off seeing it, especially with it being in like the sorcerer place. So I just think like, when I saw it, I was like, it's probably something from the comics. I don't really care, but it doesn't like take me out of it.
No, yeah, no. It was just funny because like I thought I knew a fair amount. Like if they threw an Easter egg in, I'd be because like when they did Beta Ray Bill or something in Thor, I was like, I know who Beta Ray Bill is. And then there was this green ox in Doctor Strange. I'm like, I've never seen this guy before. Dude.
So did you like Wanda in this movie?
No, I didn't like her.
You think they should have done something else?
Well, I think it was just it was weird because like the MCU has never been very comic accurate anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, it's like they gave her the most comic accurate power level.
Well, you didn't watch WandaVision.
Well, that's a fair point too.
That's when she like becomes the Scarlet Witch.
Right, but like she becomes the most powerful being that we've ever seen in the MCU.
She was already the most powerful before that.
Was she? Because like she never really did much. Like in the Civil War fight, she was kind of like with everyone else in terms of what she was.
Yeah, but that's
doing.
one of those. It was the fight where everyone was pulling their punches. She wasn't like actually trying to like kill everybody.
Fair point. I don't know. It just seemed like it was almost like
they kept on telling us like in the movies that we had to be scared of her power.
They really did. They reminded us a lot about her power.
So I think it's been pretty clear that she's been one of the most powerful.
It was almost just like she was bulldozing too easily. Like even Thanos didn't bulldoze this easy. Other people, like he still beat everyone, but it was never like it didn't. It never felt like it was hopeless for the heroes. Where in this one, it was like a miracle the heroes even defeated her. She was really powerful. I wasn't. It was just okay. Like her motivation, I understood, but I thought it was kind of weak. The motivation was just strange. I mean,
and again, you didn't watch WandaVision.
Well, yeah, I know, but I knew that the kids were in WandaVision. She took over Plainview, so I know things happened in WandaVision.
That's her whole thing, is that she just wants to get her kids back.
Yeah, but it was. I understand. It was kind of weird to see in an MCU movie because it's either like the stakes are giant and they're really pushing something forward in terms of like building out the world, or it's something like this, which I don't think it really built out anything.
But that's my other problem with this. I don't know their plan.
Yeah, like after seeing this movie, I really didn't see the point of it being made. Like it was a fun movie to watch, but in the grand scheme of things,
set up that someone can traverse the multiverse easy.
Well, see, that's the thing, is they didn't even set up the multiverse in this movie. The multiverse was already set up. They just introduced a character.
I mean, the multiverse before was set up, but we never seen someone in this timeline, in this universe, go to a different multiverse.
Yeah. Okay, fair point.
So, but like that's my biggest gripe with this phase right now is like, like they did Kang and Loki, but like what is Kang? It's not clear.
And I know we're a few movies into this phase, and I still don't know the direction they're heading. I don't know the point.
And like, if they're going towards like, hey, we're gonna have a little bit solo time with these characters, like we just had this huge saga that everything was building to this. Let's have some fun. Okay, but make that clear to the viewer because they're doing all this multiverse stuff, so it seems like the multiverse is going to be pretty big, but it also seems like they're doing this just to do fan service.
Yeah, no, this one was a big fan service movie, and probably
especially
my least.
The cameos.
Yes, I was going to bring up the cameos because that was probably the one that I disliked.
It did the cameos pissed. I mean, not all the cameos pissed me off, but so they go to this
other universe,
other Earth.
Yeah, after she kind of what's the word I'm looking for? She infiltrates the sorcerer school with great. That's one of the highlights of the movie, is seeing that kind of strange.
Yeah, that was cool.
Horror.
Oh yeah, when she was going throughout all the
reflections. That was great. I like that part, so I wanted to shout it out. But yeah, they go to another universe or multiverse.
Yeah, where Steven's dead because he used the dark hold, and then
to defeat Thanos.
Yeah, to defeat. Well, no, he doesn't. Remember, they go to get that MacGuffin book.
The Vishanti, the book of Vishanti.
Yeah, that solves all the problems.
Yeah.
Based on their work. That was another thing. It was like, what? At least they burned it, right? I forget.
The thing that they destroyed it. This is what I don't understand.
So at least they can't bring that out in another movie.
Yes.
Like, hey guys, or like if you're watching another movie, like there's that book that Doctor Strange used.
Well, this is what I'm confused with because there's multiple dark holds in this movie. There's the one that Wanda uses, and that's what was destroyed. So they went to a castle, and then later on, when you meet Sinister Strange, he has a dark hold.
But when Wanda destroyed that temple.
Yeah. That destroyed all dark holds around the universe.
Which doesn't make sense, too.
No, it's a Marvel thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so then he goes to this world, he's dead, but then he goes to, what do they call themselves? Oh, the Illuminati.
The Illuminati, and that was just such fan service that I've never seen in a movie before.
And it completely, I can't believe he even agreed to it, ruined Patrick Stewart's.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan of how they treated that character, and
it wasn't awful. It's just like he had a perfect send off in Logan.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
I was kind of surprised he returned because I'm like,
because even when he was doing Logan, he was saying, "This is it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna do this character again." It's a perfect send off, which it was. I'm just so sad he did it because it was fun to see him again and all, but
in a weird he
didn't do much.
No,
all he did was die.
That's the thing. That's why I didn't like it was such fan service to the point where I would have preferred they had Alan Grufford from the other Fantastic Four movie play Reed Richards in this movie,
or bring back the young one. Reed Richards. I thought you were gonna say
Miles Teller.
No, I thought you were gonna bring up Charles Xavier.
Well, that's another thing.
They could have brought the young one in, and I would have been completely fine with it.
This is what I was kind of interested in.
What's his name?
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Who was fantastic.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing is that they brought Patrick Stewart in, so Professor X exists. In a lot of comic universes, or in the comic universe, Wanda is the daughter of Magneto.
Yes.
So I was like, why didn't they also try to get Ian McKellen in as a double act?
Yeah, if they would have done Ian
McKellen thinking that's his daughter.
Because Ian McKellen never said he's done playing I don't know.
I don't think so. He never really got a proper send-off, too. He did do Days of Future Past.
He did.
Which is, honestly, probably the most underrated comic book movie.
It's really good.
I love that movie.
Fun. It's a ton of fun.
So this is what I'm talking about. You know when I was talking about her, just bulldozing people too easily?
Yeah.
These Illuminati.
What's his name? The dude that can't talk.
Blackguard Boltagon.
Is that his name?
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt. Oh. Yeah.
Dude, it was just...
He showed up in a Marvel show, right?
Yeah, in the Inhumans. We don't talk about that movie. But so we don't talk about that show.
But you didn't like John Krasinski showing up?
No.
But hold on.
No.
If you look at it like this, if he does... Because everyone's been calling for him to play it.
I understand.
The entire time. If this is the only one he does...
Mm-hmm.
You still hate it?
No, if he said that this is the only time I'm playing for Mr. Fantastic, I would say thank goodness.
You don't think he would do a good job?
I just think there are so many other actors that would make better Reed Richards.
I think he would be pretty cool.
No, I think he would be at the bottom of my list to play Reed Richards.
Who else do you want to play?
I always thought for some reason I thought Patrick Wilson would be a good Reed Richards. Oh, you're laughing at me. How dare you? I think he would sound smarter than John Krasinski. I don't think John Krasinski...
Hold on.
See, that's the thing, is I don't buy John Krasinski
I don't think he had much prep time for this. I think he literally came in one day and did this.
No,
you think he prepped for months to do this?
No. Well, this is another thing I didn't like.
Give him prep time.
Is that this was such a fan cast. I know it was a fan cast, but that's what I didn't like about it.
It was a fan cast, but, I mean, I wouldn't mind him playing Reed Richards. I would give him a shot. I think he would do a fine job, but... At the same time, if they cast someone else, but they still did this with him, I would be like, that's cool. The fans have been calling for this. They got their little 2 minutes with it.
Yeah, no, that's why I just didn't like it. I didn't like how it looked. I don't think he's a good. I think honestly, the main reason why the fans wanted him is because he's married to an actress who can play Sue Storm. For some reason, they just want to see. Well, not really. Does he though?
I don't get why they keep on trying to give him a beard because he's like clean shaven.
Well,
though,
yeah,
right?
but John Krasinski with a beard looks a lot cooler than John.
So hot.
Whoa, 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 whoa! I meant like he looks just more action hero-y when he's wearing a beard than when he doesn't. If he doesn't wear a beard, you just be like, Jim?
Okay. Away from the cameos now. I don't.
Oh wait, well I have to mention something because there was a rumor going on that actually made me excited for the movie.
Tom Cruise being Iron Man.
Now I have a very tumultuous relationship with Tom Cruise in movies. I was so excited at the possibility
because what they had the Ultron bots.
Yes.
So everyone's like, Iron Man has to be,
and Iron Man
is part of the
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so hyped at the possibility of Iron Man.
He was offered the role before Tony Stark before Robert Downey
Jr. And dude, I was so excited at that possibility, and then it didn't happen.
I was actually let down. I think they're scared to do anybody but Robert Downey Jr.
No, I think that was the perfect.
Scared.
It's a sensitive button. No, it was the only. I think it was the only chance, or it was the best way to actually say, like, yeah, no, other people can play Iron Man if we want them to. Because, like, who else is going to say, like, sorry, but you got to get Tom Cruise. He's one of the biggest stars to play Iron Man.
They're not going to get Tom Cruise this late into the MCU to play Iron Man.
Just for a 5. Well, no, yeah, that's another thing. Tom Cruise wouldn't do a 5-minute cameo.
Yeah,
but
no,
like that's the thing.
Standalone movie.
But that's why I was so excited. Well, then that's another thing. Is like, look,
they got Iron Wars going on.
But do you think this is the last we see of Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic?
I think it's definitely a possibility.
No, I think he's going to be Mr. Fantastic. They show up again, and look, Fantastic Four is a tough.
He likes doing that, like small.
Well, here's to hoping. Look, it would be fine if it was his only chance at Reed Richards. I wouldn't really prefer that to be the Reed Richards.
I think you would do okay.
It's a really tough hero to make work in movies too, because stretching is such a weird.
And he's pretty boring.
But
did you think the marketing for this movie made it seem like the Illuminati was going to be huge?
Yes.
And they were just handled within 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing that I didn't like is that the Illuminati seemed like the most interesting part of the movie, or it was a big, like you said, it was in the trailers.
If they explored it a little more.
Yep, and it was just over and done with as quickly as it showed up. Yep.
They show up on the New Earth, and he goes to them. Well, they hang out in the Earth for like 5 minutes. There's some comedic relief. And then he goes there. He's arrested. And then just like Wanda mind bends into herself in that Earth. And then goes on a rampage. Takes out every single Illuminati member.
Yep.
It was cool seeing Peggy as Agent Carter as. Because they did that in What If.
Captain Britain. Yeah.
Yeah. So like. I didn't hate I didn't hate the Illuminati part. It just seemed like such a waste.
Yep, that's what the thing is.
Because like,
it was a waste.
Does this mean they're not going to do it again? Because from what I understand, it's a pretty cool storyline in the comics.
I don't know the Illuminati that well in the comics to comment on that.
But like, I've heard it's a good story. I haven't read it, but
this is how quickly it just kind of wraps up because. Well, first of all, it like barely started this movie. Like we're already in the Illuminati. We're in a different multiverse.
I mean, I think it's like an hour in.
Yeah, I know, but it's just so weird.
Because right after that, it's the third act.
That's the thing.
And the third act was pretty just...
Well, when you look at it as just a timeline, you're just like, a lot happens in this movie. Well, no, sorry. Not much happens in this. It's just so... It's so weird how it works when you watch it, because immediately after the Illuminati, they run through the sewers to get to the Book of Ashanti. And this is what I hated. The Book of Ashanti is the good book, okay? They grab it. Doctor Strange has it in his hands for maybe 10 seconds.
I don't get why there's only one.
That's what I was... Yeah,
there's
that's what I didn't understand.
There's multiple Darkholds in every universe.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there only one book that every multiverse goes for?
I don't know, but that's another thing that bothered me. But so the Book of Ashanti's gone. And then he's sent to another multiverse with Christina.
That's like breaking, because the incursion... Right? That's what they're calling it, incursion.
That's probably makes a lot of sense.
Multiverses go into each other, right?
Yep, you're right on that one.
Okay. And he sees like a Doctor Strange. It's like, that part was cool.
Yes, that was probably my favorite part of the movie, actually, is when he met, I think his name was Sinister Strange. And he used the Darkhold to, I don't even know what he tried to find what was it? He tried to find a multiverse where he and Christina were together, and
I was confused. Is this...
he was killing other Doctor Stranges.
Yeah, is this... I've only watched some of the What If series.
Yeah, no, he was in that.
That was at Doctor Strange?
I think he was in it, yeah. But it was weird. They have a musical fight, and then he dies in a pretty gruesome way.
Dude, when I was watching that fight scene, I was like, this is totally just Sam Raimi wanting to do something nuts.
Yep.
They were like musical notes being thrown at each other.
I equal parts loved it and thought it was weird at the same time.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was just so weird.
It was a weird part of the movie.
Because it was like, early in the film, he's throwing out spells and stuff, and this one, they're throwing
musical notes at each other. And then he kills the Sinister Strange, and he uses the Darkhold, which I was like, I mean, I knew he was...
Because, what, they're using this to set up the third movie where he's a little corrupted?
This is what I was... Wait, if they went full... Like, if he's going to use the Darkhold, I'm like, oh, is this the last time we're going to see Doctor Strange? Because I just thought, like, okay, well, you're making him evil. And they also had a weird rule where if he uses it or he possesses his dead body, which was my favorite part of the movie.
That was a cool part.
Because he uses it... Defender Strange dies in the beginning of the movie, and in the third act, he possesses...
Because they buried him in their... universe,
right? And he possesses it, and just like when you see the zombie like wake up,
that was cool.
It is such a classic horror thing, and then his arm breaks through the cement, and it just looks something out of Evil Dead. That was just that little like 10-second portion was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, and were you gonna be like, they set up this rule that he's like breaking this?
Yeah, he is breaking a magical rule.
So like he's doing this, but he's gonna have to go away.
Yeah, he's going to basically be damned if he uses this method. I liked it. It was pretty out there, but then he just goes and fights Wanda, and it's just an MCU kind of ending to the movie.
Where Wanda's like, I'm in the wrong.
Dude, no, that's what I didn't like. I'm gonna
undo my wrong. Do you think she's dead? She's totally not dead.
I don't mean to sound so callous, but I hope she's dead. I think that character is gone. I think that there's nothing more you can do with that character.
What do you mean? If they bring in the X-Men...
Yeah, but she's not even a mutant in this universe. It doesn't matter.
Dude, I'm telling you, they got something.
Dude, no, I think they're done with Wanda. Wanda, I think, played her part. There's nothing more
I don't know. We
her.
Didn't see a body.
Yeah, I know, but there's nothing interesting anymore with her, right?
We're not the writers at Marvel. Well, and to be fair, we're not extreme Marvel fans, so we don't know.
But I can't imagine any more to do with her. She just, like I said in the beginning, I didn't really like the motivation with the whole kids thing, and then her revelation at the end of like, oh my god, it
seems like they wasted her character so much.
Yeah, well, I think this was like, sorry, I just didn't see the point of this movie. I didn't understand exactly what it pushed forward. I didn't see like what it actually expanded.
It pushed Doctor Strange forward as a like solo act because they set up his third movie.
I think it really gave a lot of flavor to his kind of solo movies, what they can be with Sam Raimi's direction. I just think that like that was the most interesting part. But yeah, the movie just kind of ends. America joins the Sorcerers for some reason, and it's like it's just it ties it up in a bow. Wong is in the movie. I think we should mention.
Dude, I think he's just turned into an exposition dump character.
Yes.
Where they're like, hey, you're here for comedic relief and exposition dump saying, hey, don't do this.
Yep. That was really
because this is going to happen. So it sets up, oh, Doctor Strange is going to do this. And that's what happened.
Yeah, you're right. There is kind of a formula between him and
Wong.
Wong.
Him. It's just I mean, I think they used him better in this movie than the other movies.
Yeah.
Because at least he did something time.
Well,
he went to fight Wanda.
Nope, I agree.
As Sorcerer Supreme.
I mean, yeah, I did like him in the first one. I think overall I just liked the first one better. I think it was a better structured movie with actually like a point to it, where this one just felt like a fun little romp, but really no point to it.
Yeah.
And then weirdly enough, at the end, Charlize Theron shows up
for the
post-credit scene.
Yeah. And it sets up Doctor Strange having a third eye, which I was like...
That third eye is weird. I'm not a fan. Are you?
It looks scary. Because what? That's the Darkhold.
Right, but the Darkhold's destroyed. Because
No,
Wanda
but
at the
like I
end.
think they're setting up that Darkhold's still within Strange.
Okay.
That it lives on into the things it touches. I think that's what they're trying to. I mean, I haven't read the comics, but I think that's what it is.
Well, then I don't know how. I really don't understand how Doctor Strange's journey ends in the MCU. If this is the next chapter, I don't understand.
They set up his third movie, but they didn't.
Barely. I mean, I don't even know what Clea does.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Well,
so
she's
another Sorcerer Supreme, right?
no.
I know she marries him at some point in the comics.
I think she's like the daughter of something in like the crazy magic world. I don't know. I don't know the Marvel comics that well.
I think no. It's weird. After talking about it with you right now, it's almost like I dislike the movie more. It's weird.
It was a fun movie to watch.
I think
it's just like, yeah, to your point, it doesn't really. When you hear the title, and they were promoting it like the hell out of it, you think it would be a major point in the MCU, but it just seems like a major point for the Doctor Strange character, not the MCU as a whole, because I don't feel like it affected the world in the MCU that much.
No, it really Doctor Strange is almost like
which
it was.
If they're going to do that now for solo movies where it doesn't really but like you can't do that. You can't have solo movies and not affect the world.
It just seems very strange. It's all about. It seemed like, okay, we're fleshing out Doctor Strange and his abilities a bit, but it was a lot more, I think, focused almost on sending off Wanda, which is fine. It just didn't really do much for me. I don't even think
they send off Wanda.
Dude, they better. I think that character is just done for. Like, there's nothing. Sorry, I didn't even like it when she was with Vision and stuff. Like, I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but so that was that. After talking to you about it, I don't know how I feel, but. We can
You're
transition.
more conflicted now.
I'm definitely more conflicted.
But it was definitely a good movie. Don't know if it was a great movie.
Yeah, I would rather watch the first one at any time.
Yeah.
The first one, I think, is just a better structured movie. But we can move on to our predictions on Thor 4.
Yeah, Thor 4 is coming out.
Yeah.
Next big Marvel movie.
Are you excited for it?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. It's got the Guardians in it.
That's probably the biggest selling point for me is the Guardians are in it.
But I feel like they're going to deal with that in 15 minutes.
Yep.
I was really sad because I thought Thor was going to be in Guardians 3.
Yeah, I thought that was the plan.
I thought that's what was happening. I didn't know Thor was coming out this quick.
Dude, well, that was the weird thing is like the first Thor...
It surprised me too. The first trailer was only a couple months ago.
That's what I was going to say. Dude, they took so long on that trailer. And then it's just like, oh yeah, it's coming out in 2 months.
Yeah,
dude, it looks weird to me. I'm not. I wasn't a fan.
You weren't a fan of Ragnarok, so you're probably not going to like this film.
Oh no, I'm not looking forward to it. I don't think I'll like it. It's just the jokes. I don't think I'll enjoy at all. I think it'll really almost ruin the movie for me.
It'll be cool seeing Natalie Portman appear again.
Well, I don't know.
Apparently they CGI'd her muscles.
Well, it looks a little CGI from what I've seen.
Because I guess she did like an interview at the red carpet, and she's back to being like normal Natalie Portman, and everyone's like, "Where's your muscles?"
That makes sense.
Where'd they go?
The thing that bothered, it was just the thing with Natalie Portman is it's almost like fair weather Marvel actress.
Definitely is. She was pissed about Thor: The Dark World. She's like, I'm done doing this Marvel stuff. It's stupid. And she didn't get paid that well, I think.
I think that might be a part of it.
But I think she just didn't think it was going anywhere.
And dude, but that's the thing.
But that was after Avengers. I don't know. I think she was just pissed about the whole thing. Then I think she was also pissed because Thor was not doing the best compared to anything else. So I don't think she wanted to be a part of it anymore because it wasn't going well. Then she saw Thor 3 and Endgame, and she was like, I could have been a part of that.
I don't know. See, yeah, that's the thing. I think it's a fair weather thing.
Yeah, I think after Thor Ragnarok, she's like, I messed up.
Yep. It was that. Well, I think she almost based all her decisions off of critical reception, if I'm being honest.
I mean, when you're an actor, that's okay to do.
Well,
Thor 2 was pretty weak.
No, well, look, it's unfairly judged.
It is not unfairly judged.
Yes, it is. It's better than Multiverse of Madness.
I wouldn't say that.
It is.
I wouldn't say that.
I would, and I did. It is better
There's
than Multiverse
going to be a video where we're going to line up every movie.
A bracket system?
We're going to do a bracket.
Hell yeah.
I don't think Thor 2 is better than... I think Thor... There's moments in Thor 2 that are really great, like moments with Loki and Thor.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Dark Elf stuff was just like.
Nah, it's good. You watch it again. It's a surprisingly good watch.
I liked it much better the second time I watched it than the first time. Which the second time I watched it was before Infinity War came out, so I didn't watch it for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, no, I took a big hiatus from it, and then I rewatched it, and I'm like, wow, I actually kind of like this movie. It's just like,
but you could kind of see it go into the quippy type stuff.
Sort of. It wasn't as bad as
like
anything.
Well,
else.
yeah,
like it's a
like
pretty
Thor Ragnarok.
Oh my god,
pushed into it, but like Thor 2, you could see Thor having way more quips than he did in Thor 1.
Dude, Thor 3, the first time I watched it was a pretty fun time. Every other time I rewatch it, the humor for me is actually like physically exhausting.
It's not that bad.
Oh my gosh, it takes it out of me, man.
You didn't like Jeff Goldblum's character?
No, he was good. I liked Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum's character. I would never besmirch Jeff
When
Goldblum.
he kills the guy and he's like, someone clean this up.
No, he was great. It was just, it's the overall tone of it. Like, sorry, they really dumbed down Thor. Like Thor and Thor 1 and Thor 2, all the early Thor stuff, he really does have a purpose. He seems to know what's going on. Thor 3, he is just useless. He really has no idea what's happening.
But I feel like that's supposed to be like, that's how I think Thor is in the comics.
It's kind of like a Joey character in Friends, or
Yeah.
if you're dumb, you're more likely to be funny to some people.
But like, no, I think like in the comics he's like more, because he's from, I don't know. They did, yeah, it was weird going from Thor 2 to Thor 3.
Dude, he has a huge drop off in understanding.
Intelligence.
Yes, in intelligence. So yeah, Thor 4, I'm not really looking forward to. I know the Guardians are going to be in it. I think it's going to be the best part of the movie for me.
But I think Chris Hemsworth does a good job at doing the funny Thor.
Yes. Well, he's a surprisingly comedic actor.
Like, his timing is good.
Yes. Dude, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Ghostbuster movie he's in, he's actually one of the funniest parts.
Is that the
of
girl
movie.
one?
Yes.
I didn't watch it.
Well, he's in like he's a surprisingly funny actor. You wouldn't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it'll be entertaining the first time I see it. Christian Bale looks interesting.
Dude, I forgot he was in this.
He looks interesting as Gore. But overall, dude, they got Russell Crowe in it. And I'm a big Russell Crowe fan, but
Hey, give it a shot.
dude, I will give it a
And
shot.
you're gonna come to the theater with me.
Maybe I'll go home to the theater with you.
I think it's gonna be fun.
I think, dude, it's gonna be a rough watch for me, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I love it, but
What's
I really
the
don't think
runtime?
so.
I'll look that up real quick.
I think the humor is going to be almost more exhausting for me because I'm sure they gave Taika Waititi more control over the fourth one than he even already had on the third. It just looks like too out there for me, just comedic wise. It's too comedic. It is a straight up comedy.
But they could also just show that in the trailer.
Maybe
There's some more serious parts in between.
I would be shocked. I
haven't
be shocked.
seen anything outside the teaser trailer. I didn't even watch the big trailer.
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
seen any clips.
I can't even remember. I've seen trailers. I don't know which ones. Now, here was the thing I was going to talk about, actually, Jacob, is we were talking about the future of Thor in the MCU earlier on in this podcast, because we were talking about whether or not who the big three are right now, if it's Doctor Strange by default, and Thor's really the only original Avenger anymore.
Bruce Banner.
Dude, Bruce Banner didn't even have, his one solo movie, which I love, by the way, that Ed Norton movie. I will say that's one of my favorite Marvel movies. And I do mean that when I say that. But, so...
Really?
Oh, yeah, you don't like it?
It's not that I don't not like it. It was, I don't know.
Dude, I'm a big fan of that movie. That's one of my favorites. But, Hulk is technically an OG Avenger, but he never does anything anymore. And he definitely doesn't carry his own movie.
He's got a series coming out with She-Hulk.
No, yeah. But that's the thing.
Dude.
What?
Thor 4's runtime.
What?
Hour 59 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I don't know if that's surprising or not. It's weird. It just, look.
What was the average time for a movie
A year ago?
Pre-Endgame?
Oh, pre-Endgame, it was
COVID
2
affected
hours.
like
No.
these?
It was 2 hours. I think movies were going long, and then almost around Endgame, every movie was like 2.5 hours.
What was Thor Ragnarok's runtime?
I'd say 2 hours 15.
Why can't I find it now? Come on. 2 hours, 10 minutes.
I was close. I'll take that as a W in my book. Now, the big question I had for Thor 4 is, do you think it's the last time we'll see Thor?
Possibly.
Well, of course it's possibly. Anything's possible, Jacob. Do you think that it's the last time we'll see Thor?
You know, I give it a 75% chance.
Okay, I would give it a 10% chance, actually. I don't think it's the last time we'll see of Thor. It just seems like that character's, like, I don't
It
think...
could be the last time we see him for a while.
Well, I don't know. It's just, I don't understand. In a weird way, I think he almost should have ended with Endgame. Because everyone else was ending with Endgame. It was such a... It was so...
Like, he should have gone out with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans.
Yep. Because it was just... Endgame was just the perfect send-off. It was a good way to just end a character's time in the MCU. And I don't know what they could have done with Thor in Endgame. I just think that's the last time we could have seen him, and it would have been better. Because I think we're just going to have him taper off eventually, and it won't be as fulfilling of an ending. I don't think he'll die in this one.
Yeah.
He'll stick around.
After you say that, I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
But would you rather him grow up a little? It does seem like he's going to grow up a little bit in this movie.
I don't understand. He was more mature in the first Thor than he was in the last three movies we've seen him in.
He wasn't mature in the first Thor.
He was
that was his whole thing. He was
more exactly. He was immature in the first one, but yet he was more mature than he is now.
Yeah.
That's my problem with Thor. Is just they made him such a doofus.
But, like, would you rather him end in Endgame being kind of a doofus or him mature a little more than...
I would rather him die a doofus in Endgame. That's a good question. I appreciate that question. No, I would rather him die a doofus in Endgame.
Like, you'd rather him die as the chunky Thor in Endgame.
Yeah. I mean, give him a little bit of redemption with the Stormbreaker and Mjolnir and all that, but then ultimately send him off in Endgame. Because, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because he's such an original character that we've seen him so long that I'm kind of ready for him not to be around in the MCU anymore. I think he's seen better days in the MCU. I think it's kind of time for him to move on.
Yeah.
But that's another thing is the future of MCU, I don't even understand what they're going for. I don't know who's supposed to be the face of it, who's supposed to be the leader, who's supposed to be the...
It's very confusing time. Is Captain Marvel even still part of the MCU?
That's what I don't understand.
Doesn't seem like
this is another weird thing. Miss Marvel's out. And she's a Captain Marvel fan, and Captain Marvel was like only relevant in the 90s on Earth, and she was barely relevant.
Showed up in Endgame for a little bit.
It's weird.
Isn't there like a whole problem with Brie Larson right now?
I don't know actually. Do you know?
I think there's something going on.
I haven't heard anything about that.
I don't know, but
so Thor. Yeah, my prediction for Thor 4 is that it's going to be super comedic, and it's going to hurt the movie. It's going to be more comedic than the third one. I don't think he'll die in it. I
don't think he'll die in it, but I think he might go off in the sunset, Grey Havens style.
See, I don't even know that because they made Valkyrie the head of the new Asgard and everything. They really gave him nothing to do. He was just going to have space adventures with
Dude, I would have been
Pratt.
So excited if he was just having space adventures with Guardians. Like, that's where his comedic thing, it would work.
Yeah. And that's kind of funny because in the comics, I know Iron Man became a part of the Guardians, and then the MCU, it's Thor. But I think Thor should have been just a part of Guardians if he was in anything. I don't know if it's just I don't know. The MCU is in such a weird time. All I'm really hoping for, I don't think it will do it. That's my prediction. Is Thor 4 will not push the MCU ahead in any way. It's going to be like a multiverse of madness. But I think that's the thing is that we just need something.
It's so weird that these big characters, their solo movies aren't pushing the narrative at all. It's the small stuff that is like
Loki.
Loki. I'm not saying that it's small, but like it's not a movie.
No, it was the last thing that really pushed the MCU forward.
Give us an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
Which like I don't hate totally that they're not doing. It's just confusing because it's like we know there's something in the works. Just give us move something forward.
It's got to go back on track. So I don't think it will happen. I would love to be wrong, but really that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah. Well, I'll see it, report back to you, and force you to go to the movie again with me.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, thanks, guys, for listening. I'll say it. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you. I was so sick of being the one that had to say that.
I don't know. But yeah.
Thank you. This has been Barely Functioning.